Israelis head to the polls in 2 days, and Benjamin Netanyahu has maintained the lead. His strategy? Draw attention to Syria's chemical weapons and Iran. It's a status quo message, but not everyone is convinced. Tom Popick reports.
A last cabinet meeting before national elections, and for Israel's prime minister, a last chance to talk tough. The problem in the Middle East is Iran's attempt to build nuclear weapons, said Benjamin Netanyahu. The problem isn't Jewish settlements in Jerusalem. That's a familiar message directed at Orthodox voters that have sustained Netanyahu's right-wing coalition government for years. With almost 6 million Israelis expected to cast ballots on Tuesday, polls show the coalition is likely to gain seats in the Knesset. For voters, politics as usual.
These elections is more or less the last elections.
It's somewhat of a boring election this time around. You know, we got 34 parties.
The right will win. And for me, it will be a tragedy for Israel.
Still, Netanyahu's Likud party has slipped to its lowest support so far in this campaign. Israel's three main left-wing parties are divided and refusing to cooperate together. But young voters like Rivi Marcus say that old political deal-making is driving deep cynicism.
People are really unhappy because they work really hard. Living is expensive, rent is expensive.
Israel's political rift between right and left means economic issues are falling through the cracks despite a recession.
The big question that the polls do not reveal is how many of the Israeli electorate will not show up at the polls.
For the first time, this election isn't getting much attention from Israel's neighbors either. With Syria's civil war, Palestinians divided, and Egypt struggling with its own democratic experiment, Israel staying the course, and may be a much-needed bit of stability. Tom Popick, Global News, Beirut.